Hello, everybody. How we doing today? Today we got something a little bit different, and I'm probably gonna go off. I'm gonna go off. This one really gets me going. We're talking about weather modification, geoengineering, aka the term chemtrails that they've demonized, um, and basically, you know, the word conspiracy gets added to it and they try to make it seem like a bad thing. And you know what? You know how many years they've been calling people crazy that say there's something in the sky being sprayed around everywhere? Well, I'm going to geo let me just play this. Geoengineeringwatch.com. Great website. It tells you all about it. Here are some of the patents that have been made. All right. Okay, you want to say, "Oh, Dad, that's okay." They're spraying stuff. They're spraying stuff. It's not a big deal. You want to say that they're just spraying stuff and it's not a big deal? Look at what they did right here. Operation Popeye. In the Vietnam War, they used weather modification in North Vietnam. Let's read this. The Department of Defense has this is from 1967. The Department of Defense has requested our approval to initiate the operation phase of Project Popeye in selected areas, along with infiltration routes in North Vietnam and southern Laos. The objective of the program is to produce sufficient rainfall along these lines of communication to interdict or at least interfere with truck traffic between North and South Vietnam. Okay, so here's the deal. It's already been used as an act of war. And I have a video right here. Tell me this ain't scary. Okay, tell me this ain't scary. Check this out.
Satellite that will permit man to determine the world's cloud layer and ultimately to control the weather, and he who controls the weather will control the world.
He who controls the weather will control the world. So yeah, tell me it's not a little scary. And that's just from the standpoint of war and weaponizing it. What about from the standpoint that when you're creating clouds and manipulating our weather, what is the domino effect? You can't just create artificial rain and not expect there to be a rebound effect. Okay. The scientists say there's no planet like Earth. We are so special and unique. None of the other planets in space can contain life. Then why are you fucking with our planet if we're so special? Because y'all, you want to play God. You want to play God, all right?
Very great danger from the pollution that's coming down over us. And we've been led astray by the military-industrial complex, and they're responsible for the cloud's creation and weather manipulation programs.
I sacrificed 4 years of my life defending the people of my country just to come home and find there are greater threats here domestically.
There's something going on. I don't know who it is or why they're doing it. All I can testify is it's not natural and it's not normal.
Now, the aluminum content of rain should be 0.
And there's a lot of argument that aluminum is very common to be found, but aluminum is only common in a bonded form. It's not common in a free form, and we're finding high rates of free aluminum.
Because you can spread so many small little particles through the environment, it dramatically increases the surface area that's in that environment because there's so many of them. When you look up at the sun and you see a white haze, that is aluminum floating in the air right now, and it's coming from the aircraft.
Solar radiation management, SRM, to block the sun. That's the stated purpose. The consequences don't seem to be considered with these programs, but that is the stated purpose on almost all UN and global.
Yeah, I mean, it's sketchy. I could go on and play footage after footage of this, and
Greatest lie ever perpetrated on populations all over the world is the condensation trail lie. What we're seeing in our skies is not condensation. It's sprayed particulate dispersions with very few exceptions.
They shouldn't be there.
Go to this website, geoengineeringwatch.org, and watch The Dimming, the documentary called The Dimming.
Jet engines burn.
U.S. Air Force Weather Observer. These are not just bums saying this shit.
Clean. So if there's anything coming out of them, it's an additive.
Look at that, turning on.
They're absolutely not contrails. Contrails do not linger, dissipate, and go into cloud coverage, period, in the report.
And I kept saying to people, you know, what is this? Because now the sky is no longer blue, it's starting to turn gray. And what I found was kind of like it was not socially acceptable. You know, we're all going to pretend this is not really happening. And I thought, oh, this is very bad.
Most are unfamiliar with the science term called global dimming. That term refers to the amount of direct sunlight that no longer reaches the surface of the planet due to light scattering particles that are building up in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, you look up in the sky and you just see mist. You just see mist. And it's not even a secret. But yet when people talk about those planes, there's something coming off those planes, you're crazy. What are you smoking? What are you smoking? All right? And, you know, it's all really happening. And I need to find why are they not showing me? Where are my pictures? I don't see my pictures on here. Anyways, they're not showing. Anyways, I had some pictures of basically just the definition of I already played this. I don't know why it won't show me pictures. Anyways, CNN article. CNN. Hate CNN. CNN sucks. Look at that. Scientists in the U.S. are flying planes into clouds to make it snow more. Sound a little sketchy? Why are we making it snow? This is insane. All right. Weather modification, the deliberate or inadvertent alteration of atmospheric conditions by human activity sufficient to modify the weather. Okay? Humans have long sought to purposely alter such as atmospheric clouds, blah, 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 blah. The modern era of scientific began in 1946. Basically, yeah, I can't even read that. Anyways, basically, they're sketchy, man. Look at this. Cloud seeding is a type of weather modification that aims to change the amount or type of precipitation that falls from clouds by dispersing substances into the air that serve as cloud condensation or ice nuclei, which alter the microphysical processes within the cloud. Its effectiveness is debated. Okay? I don't care if you think, oh, yeah, they're manipulating it. It's for the good. It's for the good. Okay? I don't give a fuck if it's for the good, man. There's a domino effect. You can't just change the weather. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not. I mean, I know y'all think I'm pretty damn like a genius, but I'm not quite a scientist. I could be. All right. Let's take a look at what Stephen Colbert, the left,
You could deplete
the left loser liberal had to say about people dying because of this.
Stratospheric ozone. Smaller size means more surface area, but more surface area means less ozone.
Is the stuff in the stratosphere going to be killing some number of people that are going to be sacrificed?
It's an obvious concern.
So if it kills 1 million people and we're only doing 1% more, we're just killing 10,000 more people.
You can do math.
Just killing 10,000 more people. Hey, piece of shit, Stephen Colbert, you liberal bastard. I mean, that might not even be his name. That might not even be his name. Anyways, let's take a look at this. Weather modification, storm prevention, was an attempt to weaken tropical cyclones by flying aircraft into storms and seeding the eye wall with silver iodide. Silver iodide. That does not sound healthy. Listen to what the guy found when he tested the chemicals that were in the clouds.
Our skies, and the people that message me are perplexed at how such atrocities can be ongoing for so many decades. And we have still official denial, and we have populations that are all too willing to accept that denial. I began to test for some of the primary elements named in climate engineering solar radiation management patents, starting with aluminum, barium, and strontium. My test came back from the state certified lab. To my dismay, these elements indeed were present in significant amounts, and subsequent tests showed higher and higher and higher amounts, continuing to escalate until one test was as high as 3,450 parts per billion of aluminum. This is highly toxic rain.
Okay. And there's not supposed to be any aluminum in clouds. There's not. All right. Okay. Let's talk. Look at this jerk off.
And you
this
put, say,
the
kind of program I think makes more sense to put about 1 million tons a year in, but let's say you might end up killing many tens of thousands of people a year.
David Keith, you might kill many tens of thousands of people a year. This was in like 2011, and we're doing it now. It's not a conspiracy.
It's a direct result of that program.
It is a fact. It is a fucking fact.
But let's say you might end up killing many tens of thousands of people a year as a direct result of that decision.
And so the only thing that we can do.
All right. I don't know, man. I'm just a guy over here. in his room by himself making a YouTube video, you know? But for some reason, I think 10% of the people dying that are involved in this doesn't sound great. I don't like this David Keith guy. And this one is what really scares me. Stratospheric injection.
One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection.
There's all sorts of ways you could do this, but the standard idea has always been spray sulfuric acid in the stratosphere 20 kilometers over our head and use that to stop the planet warming up.
The example many people cite was when the Mount Pinatubo volcano exploded, and all of this ash went into the air and had a cooling effect on.
So they're like, oh, remember when the volcano exploded and all the ash was in the air and it had a cooling effect because it dimmed the sun. Oh, let's just try to do that. Let's just fucking dump shit out of the back of airplanes and let's just do it. Let's just go for it. Let's play God. All right. And you know what? It's going to be used as an act of war, just like they did in Vietnam with Project Popeye. All right. How are we going to feel when China makes it not rain out here and we go into a drought and all our crops die? Not fun. Scary. Here's this asshole.
Out a lot faster. We sort of step back and think, okay, well, how would you actually make particles in the stratosphere? This is really engineering now. If it was aerosols in the stratosphere, it would likely be put there by airplanes. Start with a fleet of just 2 or
They act like it would likely be put there by airplanes. It is being put there by airplanes. That was 2011, by the way, and they've moved forward with this since. There is so many patents. I had a list of all the patents. It's not you can't really see it very well, but here's all the patents. Look at this. These are all patents that have to do with weather modification. Most of them have to do with dispersing chemical agents into the air from the back of an airplane. A lot of them are there's even one where they're talking about, like he was talking about the stratospheric injection. They want to inject like that iodine or lead or aluminum in there and then microwave the stratosphere to raise it up a bit so cooled air can come under the stratosphere and cool the planet. Just sounds like a goddamn bad idea to me, man. How about we let God be God and not the US government be God? I don't know. Here I go again with the I don't know. I don't know.
Is the government experimenting with our weather? People say the government is up there in airplanes spraying all kinds of chemicals to change or manipulate the weather.
It is called Geo Engineering, fighting global warming by putting a chemical dust in the atmosphere and reflecting harmful radiation back into space.
You could use barium oxide, for example.
They're pushing global warming so hard right now that people will let the government do whatever. They'll let them dump fucking feces out of the back of an airplane if it's going to help global warming. Let's dim the sky with shit.
And reflecting harmful radiation back into space. And reflecting harmful engineering, fighting global warming by putting a chemical dust in the atmosphere and reflecting harmful radiation back into space.
You could use barium oxide, for example, which makes big fluffy clouds. You could use tiny little bits of aluminum, which is benign in the environment, and essentially manage the...
Okay, did you catch that? How that chemtrail just stopped? Oh, if that's really a chemtrail, why did it stop?
Which is benign in the environment, and essentially manage the climate.
There are 172 bills before the U.S. Senate right now calling for more weather modification programs.
A Weather Modification Act calling for research in, quote, attempting to change or control by artificial methods the natural development of atmospheric cloud form.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds a little scary to me. I don't know. Anyways, I had a couple. Oh, here's another one. Forest fire creation as an act of war. All right, that was on there. Go to geoengineeringwatch.com. Is it .com or .org? Anyways, geoengineeringwatch.org. Okay. How many weather I mean, it's just unbelievable. What's going on? Google it. Google weather modification. Please entertain yourself. Go and check out the dimming. It's a great documentary. It is on YouTube. Check it out. So remember, only about 10% of people might die when we do this. Yeah. And let's remember this. No, I'm sorry. It won't. Okay. Let me just do this. Let's remember this. All right. Let's do this. I'm going to leave you with this. Okay, look. Operation Sober Popeye was a military cloud seeding project carried out by the U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam War in 1967 to 1972. The highly classified program attempted to extend the monsoon season over specific areas of the Ho Chi Minh Trail in order to disrupt North Vietnamese military supplies by softening road surfaces and causing landslides. Yeah, I mean, we used it. We did this. It helped us win the Vietnam War. So let's not forget. Let's not forget about that. All right? Keep that on the top of your minds. We have already used it to win a war. All right, folks, I just wanted to really go into that real quick because it's really been bugging me. The denial that the government, the denial, the nerve that they have, man. Anyways, God bless. Have a good day.